Warning,
Kipper
the
remake,
following is not
Thomas
made for
Audio
kids.
story.
It's for older
It's a
fans
remake of a
and adults who still like the
17, I wanna
franchise.
say. In 16,
So,
17.
Papa,
Fuck right off!
Right
enjoy.
before the Renaissance is the point.
The Smelly Kipper.
I watched the original episode, before doing this, so I know what happened in the original. I'll just
One
break down
evening,
comparisons
after
by
a
the end.
long day of work, James was being insufferable.
So
He had heard about Duck's crash with the flying
Oh, they got
kipper
some more
on
background
Gordon's Hill,
pictures.
and he wouldn't stop joking about it.
Oh, so it's a sequel to Fish. in
Fancy
regard.
that, he said to no one in particular. Our main shunter going for a late night snack. How fitting for a duck to be swimming with the fishes. Actually, ducks don't eat fish. Perhaps penguin would be a more fitting name. They still waddle, don't they? And as for you, Henry... Oh, don't start! The green engine wheezed. It's not my fault the tail lamp came loose. Ah, but it is yet another incident with the kipper that we'll have to add to your record. Seriously, Henry. If you're this bad, maybe we should find some other
I
engine
swear
to
every
pull
time
it.
Henry takes the kipper, there's an accident. Like, maybe
Henry
there's
was
one or
about
two
to
times
retort,
it was fine,
but then an
9
idea
times out
flew
of 10 if
into
he's
his
taking the
funnel.
kipper, accident prone.
Okay,
Why do you keep
then,
giving it to
James.
him?
Tell you what, if you're so confident, how about you take the flying kipper tonight? Ho! Me? As if. Those revolting fish would ruin my paintwork, and the smell. Ugh. I wouldn't dare touch such a thing. Oh? Not even if I promised you my passenger duties for a week? Henry
That's
grinned
the deal.
deviously. He knew how much James loved passengers,
Oh,
and how
yes, he
desperate
does.
would be to pull them. Without a second thought, James perked up. Ooh, well, if you insist. All right then, Henry. I'll show you just how well I can pull that disgusting little kipper of yours.
He then goes there, finds Porter, decides, F this, I'm going home.
James?
Goes home and... Oh, wait, I'm going with the original. What?
What? It's time to pull the kipper. I had to wake myself up at this time of night just to make sure you didn't forget.
That was thoughtful
James
of you.
was running on half his smoke box as he struggled to keep his eyes open. Don't be ridiculous, Henry. I'm a splendid engine. I don't pull the kipper. You must have been dreaming. Nope, I remember. You agreed to do it this evening. No takebacks now. You're already steamed up. Now get going or you'll be late. All right. Fine. I'm going. I'm not afraid of a few fish anyway.
You will be.
We'll see about that.
Oh, we got
James
Rosie
made
here.
his way
This
to
time
the
instead of
harbour,
Porter.
where Rosie was arranging the train for the flying kipper. As the red engine parked alongside,
set her up
it only
as the,
took him a few seconds
shunt
for his
in the last
paint to
episode.
start crawling. Hi there, dearie, whistled Rosie politely. You here to collect the kipper tonight? What? Me? No, of course not. I mainly pull coaches. Henry's the one who
coaches
pulls the
unless you
kipper.
pull the kipper.
Maybe I should go back and tell him, Rosie interrupted. Nice try, James. Unless you want a word from the Fat Controller, I suggest you get coupled up. No takebacks. And the
Nope,
little
hang
engine
this
ran
episode
off
up by another
laughing.
minute.
Oh. As the porters finished up loading the trucks, James started backing down on the train. He didn't know which was worse, the fish that could get all over his paint, or the fish swimming around in his boiler. Gently. Easy does it now. We're doing this for the passengers. Do it for the passengers. Do it for the passengers.
And smash!
Hey, James, remarked the leading truck. Why the long face? Are you scared of the smelly fish?
They're gonna have a reference to...
The rest
color's
honed
nice,
in
James.
like a
Pity
pack
about
of
your face, though.
wolves. He is! James is scared of the smelly fish! Here, fishy fishy! Here, fishy fishy! Oh, shut up! All of you! I'm not afraid at all. It's just fish.
Nice to know
James
that
was so
after Jones
concerned
Turner
about the
was
trucks,
killed in
he didn't notice the
in
crane
both
above him.
Pokemon and
was
Yu-Gi-Oh!
just
He got turned
unloading
into a
another
troublesome
crate of
truck.
fish on the quay beside him.
That's my
When
headcanon. You
James's
can't
tender
stop me.
Hit the crate, releasing a school of fish all over him. He wasn't hurt, just incredibly revolted.
Ugh.
Rosie pulled alongside. She had seen everything. You know, I thought we were just delivering fish tonight, not big red lobsters. James didn't say anything. He just scowled. It took a while for him to be cleaned up, but he was soon on the
At least he
main
was cleaned
line
up in this.
and hopping from station to station. Well done, boy, remarked his driver. At this rate, we'll make up for lost time. But James wasn't trying to. He was just trying to stay out of sight long enough. Daylight soon arrived,
Henry's
and
liable to get a
James
storm.
eventually met up with Henry. He was delivering a train of empty flatbeds to the forest. Well,
that's right.
James, he remarked, a deal's a deal. Rosie told me about what happened this morning. Henry was about to say more, but then something cut him off. Ha! And it looks like you got me a present as well.
Yep, they did miss a spot in this.
James looked down. A fish was still resting on his buffer beam. Oh! Ah! No, not here! Not here! His face turned quickly as red as his paintwork. Well, look on the bright side. Your paint still looks as shiny as ever. Must be all the oil. Henry carried his laughter long into the distance. And as for James, well, he just hoped he'd never have to see another fish for a long, long time.
James never wins. Even when he wins, he loses. Yeah, that was a pretty good adaptation. It was a good adaptation. It was also a much more condensed version of the original. I watched the original. It wasn't a bad episode, I wouldn't say. It's just, I have problems with it, you know? They said a person with the mail train earlier, that goes nowhere, and you think that that would be setting up for something to come later. No, just, we need to kill more time. James goes to the dock, says, F this, I'm out. Then goes back there and ropes Henry into doing it instead, which I don't fully hate, to be fair, because it does kind of think that he ropes him into it, then immediately gets caught. Well, not immediately, it's the next day, but it's obvious that it's just there to pad time more to fill out the episode, and so that James could do the thing tonight. And then Craigie just dumps fish on his head in the actual thing, which, again, I'm not fully against, because he has done that a couple times in the actual series. How Cranky Bugsy's intentionally dicking around with them, but it's just like, oh, it happenstance. Again, I don't think it's a bad episode, just kind of exists, you know? It's a middle ground. You can enjoy, if you enjoy it, it's fine, just, But this is a good thing of just condensing it, showing off some more background characters that weren't in it, and just making it more interesting, and instead of just like, James was boastful, and therefore he says he will do it, and then doesn't do it. It's more like, no, James is boastful, and then Henry puts him up to it with a little bit of a deal to make it more of a wager. Instead of just being like, do it because you said you would, bruh. Trust me. I'll totes do it, and there's nothing to make me want to do it other than because I said so in my own dignity or ego or whatever. And then Sir Matt calls me out on it. This is just freaking. Yeah, he makes a deal with another engine and then just has to follow through on the deal. I could see this being maybe an Audrey story. Which Audrey, I don't know, but an Audrey story probably. Actually, I think there is a Christopher Audrey story where he takes the kipper, but I can't remember it for the life of me. I don't own any of the Christopher Audrey books. So, they really need to re-release those at some point, but that's a thing for another time. But, anyway, yeah. Good adaptation, way to shorten it down and make it a bit more coherent of a thing. Again, the original wasn't bad, just this is a better adaptation of it in my opinion. And I do like it as a sequel to Fish, sort of like how Season 4 was a lot of sequels to Season 1 and 2 episodes. So, Yeah, that making it a sequel to Fish and then laughing about that does make a bit more sense. And following up the Rosie being there instead of Porter, who I will never remember exists until they show him, I swear. I hate those sorts of characters who are just like, hey, what are you talking? And here's Porter. Who's Porter? What are you talking about? Porter's been here the whole time. You didn't notice Porter? He's always been here. And you know, there's Bill, Ben, and Timothy. You know, Timothy, the guy who's been here the entire time. Don't tell me you don't know him. You're not a real fan. Ugh. I mean, it's better than them being like, and then Thomas met the new engine and was very mean to him until he learned not to be mean to the new engine ever again. Like 800 times. Like, I guess that is better than doing that, but it's also like, ugh. You know, there's not really a win in that scenario. Just like of a pick your poison. But yeah, now I'm just going off with random stuff, so I guess I might as well wrap it up before I go into another tangent that has nothing to do with anything. So yeah, good work, S Code. You fixed the story up, and yeah, nice. Yeah, later.